Have you ever felt too small for the challenge in front of you? Too young, too inexperienced, too unqualified? If so, this story is for you. It's the story of David and Goliath, and it's about a God who chooses the unlikely. Let's go back to ancient Israel. A young shepherd named David is out in the fields, watching sheep. He's the youngest son, the one nobody would have picked for anything big. His older brothers were the ones doing the important things, but God saw something special in David's heart. As God told the prophet Samuel, people look at the outward appearance, but the Lord looks at the heart. And David's heart? It was brave, loyal, and totally anchored in God. While David was tending his flock, Israel was facing a terrifying crisis. Their enemies, the Philistines, had a secret weapon, a giant named Goliath. Scripture says he was nearly 9 feet tall, covered in armor heavier than what most men could even lift. Every single day, for 40 straight days, Goliath marched out and taunted the Israelite army. He'd shout, "Choose one man to fight me. If he wins, we'll be your servants. But if I win, you'll be ours." And for 40 days, the entire army, including King Saul himself, shook with fear. Hope was fading fast. This is where David enters the scene, not as a warrior, but as a delivery boy. His father sent him to bring bread and cheese to his brothers on the front lines. He wasn't supposed to be a hero. He was just doing errands. But God has a funny way of putting us exactly where we need to be, right when we need to be there. When David heard Goliath's taunts, something inside him stirred. He couldn't believe God's people were just standing there, paralyzed. He asked, "Who is this uncircumcised Philistine that he should defy the armies of the living God?" Of course, people laughed at him. His own brother told him to go home and get back to his sheep, but David wasn't trying to be arrogant. He just knew that God was infinitely bigger than any giant. Word of this bold teenager reached King Saul, who summoned him. Imagine Saul's surprise when this young shepherd walks in and says he wants to fight Goliath. David explained, "God helped me defeat lions and bears to protect my sheep. He'll help me now." Saul, probably out of desperation, agreed. He offered David his own royal armor, but it was too big and clunky. David could barely move. He wasn't a soldier, and God wasn't asking him to pretend to be one. So he took it off. Instead, David took what he knew: his shepherd's staff, his trusty sling, and 5 smooth stones he picked from a stream. That's it. As he walked onto the battlefield, Goliath roared with laughter. "Am I a dog?" he sneered, "that you come at me with sticks?" But David didn't back down. He spoke one of the most powerful lines in history: "You come against me with sword and spear, but I come against you in the name of the Lord Almighty." This wasn't cockiness, this was complete and total trust. Then, in an instant, it happened. David reached into his bag, placed 1 stone in his sling, and swung it with all the skill he'd practiced for years in those quiet fields when no one was watching. The stone flew fast and true, and struck Goliath right in the forehead. The giant collapsed, face first, to the ground. Just like that. Years of fear and intimidation were over. A shepherd boy, armed with faith, had changed history. This story isn't just about an underdog winning. It's a reminder that God uses the overlooked. He sees battles differently than we do. Your giant might not be 9 feet tall. It might be fear, anxiety, a diagnosis, or a past mistake. But the same God who stood with David stands with you. When you step forward in faith, no matter how small you feel, He can turn your impossible moments into incredible victories. Because with God, you are never the underdog. Thanks for watching. If this story resonated with you, hit that like button and subscribe for more content that inspires. We'll see you in the next video.